So we made it to the Myrtles plantation. Oh, there's a ghost. Welcome to our crib. And apparently, if this gives you a hard time opening, then you're gonna have a restless night. But the ghosts tend to like me, apparently, because it was pretty easy to open. Look how cute it is. Not him. Like all of these old floors. Oh my gosh. Greg, do you think we're gonna see some ghosts tonight?
Probably not.
What?
It's right out there.
Stop it.
Right here.
I really think we might. They say that sometimes you can see in your window just a couple eating by candlelight, just their supper. Oh, no. Oh. Hello everyone, welcome back. If you are new here, my name is Megan and welcome to the Cozy Crypt. All right, you guys. So, first and foremost, I just want to get on here and say I'm sorry it's been so long since I've posted a video. I had to have emergency dental surgery, so I've been going through it. And I couldn't really do many videos because I couldn't really talk. So today is a little better, but if you do hear me talking funny, it's because it still hurts to get a little air on it. I had to have a tooth extracted, which is not fun. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've had that done, oof, I'm so sorry. Like, it is horrible. Like, during it wasn't as bad, but the healing process has not been really my friend. It's healing fine, it's just taking a while. So yeah, so I just wanted to say I'm sorry, but in today's video, we're going to tell a personal haunted story. Woo. A story that I actually love and hate. We're gonna take a trip down to St. Francisville, Louisiana, to a place called the MYRTLES Plantation. Now, if you've never heard of the MYRTLES Plantation, that's okay. I knew very little about it before I went. I talked my brother into it after I watched an episode of Ghost Adventures. I know, it's very cheesy, but sometimes the cheesy just hits, you know, it's good. But something was just calling me to go. And maybe, I don't know, you tell me at the end of this story what you think. All right, let's get right into it. So, we're coming from Tennessee. It's not really that long of a drive. I think it was like 6 to 8 hours. Excuse me. Take a drink. Anywho, we're driving and we get into St. Francisville. Now, if you've been to Louisiana, you know all the beautiful, creepy trees, right? You have the moss hanging from them. There's weeping willows, which are beautiful, right? But it's just painting the scene of like, it's gray out, you know? It's like it had stormed and now it's just like foggy and gray and oh, it was setting all the scenes that I was hoping for. If you know, you know. But we get to this place finally because we had to go like tons of back roads. It's kind of scary. There's really nothing nearby, but we pull up. And I don't really like to say plantations are beautiful because they have such a dark, horrible past. But it really was pretty, you know. The property had, like I said, a lot of weeping willows had like the moss. It's just a picture perfect Gothic mansion. And I actually loved it. But as soon as we came onto the property, something felt not off, but you could feel an energy shift, right? That's really all, that's the only way I know how to explain it. Now, like back then, I wasn't much in tune with like supernatural things. So I'm like, oh, it's just, I'm setting the scene for me being scared. Like, it's all in my head. Well, we go, we check in, and this sweet older lady checks us in, and she was actually the one on Ghost Adventures, so I felt like I was meeting a celebrity. She was such a cool person. Like, she had been working at the Myrtles plantation for, I want to say like 15 to 20 years. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. But she'd been there for a long time. And, excuse me, guys. We checked in with her. And I told her, I was like, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm meeting a celebrity. I'm so happy it's you that's checking us in. She's like, oh, honey, like, that's so sweet of you to say, and this and that. Well, she takes us to, we stayed at the caretaker's cottage. Now, you could either stay in the house, or you could choose to stay in the caretaker's cottage. And the reason why I chose to stay at the caretaker's cottage is because that's where the ghost hunters stayed, and I don't know, something about it felt very ominous. Like, guys, I'm getting chills right now. It was creepy. Like, you felt kind of secluded in a swamp. So, yeah. Use your imagination. I will insert pictures too, so that way you don't have to paint your own picture. So I'll insert some pictures here, and so you can kind of see. So she hands me the key, and she says, if the door unlocks easily, the children welcome you. What? I looked at my brother just like that. I was like, okay. And then she said, if it gives you a hard time, they're going to almost kind of like pester you. Like they're going to play tricks on you. They're going to, they don't really like you being there. And I said, okay. So I grab the key, unlock it, opens right up. I was like, oh my God. But then there was also a part of me that was like, well, are we not going to have any activity now? Like, that sounds so terrible, and I don't mean to like say it like that, but you know, we went there for poltergeist activity, or like ghostly activity. So my brother, I think, made the quote, well, they must love Disney princesses. So I can get into that in another video, but I worked for Disney as 3 different characters for 5 years. So, and during that time, I was still with the company. So, yeah, maybe they did. Who knows? Maybe they could tell. But with that being said, the lady's like, you have nothing to worry about, dear. They like you. You, like your brother said, it must be because of that. Like, we were just all laughing and joking around. And she said, if you need anything, let me know. And if you need to leave in the middle of the night. She said something along the lines of like, you can just leave the keys. I don't even remember exactly what she said, because I was like, that's not going to happen. We paid a lot of money to be here. We're not going to leave in the middle of the night. So that was that. We went around, we put our bags up, we had our drinky drinks. We had maybe one or two, and it started to get like dusk. So we thought, let's go outside and like start filming, you know? So we went outside, started filming a little bit, and the energy, like I said, was just very creepy. I mean, guys, if you could see the chill bumps on my arm right now, like, can you? I don't even know if you can, but I've got them all over my body because I can remember it vividly. It was still. It was almost as if nobody else was staying on this property except for us. It was weird. So we were walking around, and I know I said that it's secluded, but it felt very secluded. It was in fact right beside the big mansion or the plantation, but it just felt like it was its own little thing, right? Like it was, but it just, I don't know. It felt very separated. We're walking around. You can see the lights on in the big house, and you know, you can see the lights, you know, on in our caretaker's cottage. And I remember a scene from the Ghost Adventures, right? The same lady was telling them, like, sometimes at a certain time of night, if you're outside of the caretaker's cottage looking in, you can see a woman and a man by candlelight having dinner in the caretaker's cottage. And I don't know, something about that just, it made me kind of happy because I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. You're still having dinner and, you know, having this reoccurring thing. And then I thought, it's also very creepy. That's where all my stuff is. That's where I have to lay and sleep tonight. But I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the main ghost that is said to haunt this place. Her name is Chloe. Now, I'm not going to go into much detail about Chloe just because I don't want to get anything wrong, because there's a lot of different speculations about Chloe. So please, if you want to, look up Chloe from the Myrtles Plantation. She definitely, I believe she's there, 1000%. And here's the reason why. So my brother, I go inside because I get a little scared. And my brother is still, he came inside and he's like, you know what, I'm gonna go back out. It's pitch black. And I'm like, maybe you shouldn't. Like, you're gonna go out and you're gonna leave me all alone, like out here. And he's like, you'll be fine. I'm just gonna go right outside. And of course he goes outside and then he bangs on the window. He scares me. Typical older brother stuff. And he's up there for a bit. And I'm like, is he okay? Like, hopefully, you know, like an alligator didn't get him or something crazy. He comes back in. He's like, Megan, there was some weird noises. There was some weird things happening outside. I'm like, you're just trying to scare me. Yeah, whatever. He's like, no, I'm actually being very serious. I'm like, oh yeah? Okay, well, let's talk. So we both grab, you know, a drink, and he starts telling me that, like, there was, like, footsteps. He heard footsteps on the porch. Guys, I kid you not, like, I felt numb. It's like, I don't know if I can sleep here. Like, I'm terrified, but I'm also, like, very excited. I love going to haunted locations, okay? I grew up in a haunted house, like, you guys already know. So I was very excited about that. So we, stay up kind of late, and then we decided to go to bed. So he said to me verbatim, if you wake up in the middle of the night and you start talking or sleepwalking, I'm going to be completely freaked out. I don't know what I'm going to do, because I do that from time to time. Like, mostly it's like, oh my God, there's a spider in my bed, or there's this, just kind of like whatever stuff. But he's like, if you start doing anything really weird, I don't know what I'm going to do. So we go to sleep, and I think now I'm not trying to be cliche, but I really think it was like, I don't know, it wasn't like 3 a.m. I do remember at one point looking and it was 3 a.m. The first time, I think it was like 1:30 or 2 a.m., okay? And I wake up, I sit up, and I look, and I'm like, hey girl, hey girl, where are you going? Hey girl. Just like that, right? Oh, you guys. Because I see this, like, plain as day, a woman. And it could have been, God, I'm getting emotional because it was so real, But she looks just like Chloe. Like, she had, it was her. Like, she was wearing the same clothing, like, from that time, and you could just tell. And she didn't even know I existed, because I sat up in bed. I'm gonna try to find some pictures of, like, the inside so you can kind of see, so, like, where the bedding is, and you can see kind of like how she walked past. So I'll try to insert those here if I can find them. But she walks through the front door, doesn't even look at me when I'm saying, hey girl, hey, and walks right up the back door, like, just in a trance, like, just forward, does not acknowledge anything else. And I kind of get up, and I feel like I fully wake up, like, I wasn't asleep, but it was weird. It was like I fully woke up. And whether I dreamt it, I don't know, because we were already thinking about a lot of those things. I don't know, but I get very emotional because it felt so real, And funny part, though, I look over and my brother is like, what the heck? I'm like, I literally just saw a woman walk in the front door and out the back. He's like, no, shut up. I'm like, I did. I did. Somehow we both go back to sleep, and at this point I get woken up by what feels like poking on me and giggling. You guys can think I'm crazy all you want, that's fine. I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. But poking and laughing, and I hear, like, a little bit of, like, the tiniest little pitter patter, right? And then I feel it, like, on the other side, and I fall back asleep. I don't wake up fully. I don't know why I wasn't terrified. I don't know. But I wake up the next morning, I tell my brother about my experience, and I go to take a shower. Well, when I took a shower, I noticed I had a bruise here on my arm. I had a bruise on my inner thigh. I just, how? Those weren't there the day before. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wait, what? I have bruises on me. They didn't even hurt. You know what I mean? If you could tell if you had like a bruise, you're like, ow, where did that come from? That happens to me all the time. Like, I won't even know what I've done. And then all of a sudden I just start hurting. I'm like, oh, well, where did that come from? No, these didn't even hurt. They were just there. And they looked like they had been there. Like, they looked like they were like in their peak healing, you know, when they're like kind of darker. Here and inner thigh. It's almost like somebody was holding me down, you know. And I told my brother, I was like, look at this. And I showed him, and he's like, what in the world? I'm like, I don't know. Like, I don't know where this came from. And so we were both kind of nervous about it. We were like, I'm glad we're leaving today, because, like, nothing should get physical with us. You know what I mean? If it touches us, we're done. Like, we don't want that. So we go and we eat breakfast the next morning. And we're sitting there talking to the caretaker and, like, a few of the other people there that work there. And they're like, did you get any pictures? And my brother's like, yeah, actually, I did. I haven't looked at them yet. So we're looking at them. And if I can find his pictures, then I will also insert them here. I will ask him, but I don't know if he has them anymore. But, guys, I always thought orb pictures were a little bit, I always try to debunk orb pictures because I'm like, oh, whatever, it's an orb, you know, like, it could be a bug. You know, we're in the swamp. Like, it could be bugs. It could be dust. It could be literally anything. But the way these orbs looked, they were all consistent. And they were all the same size in every picture. If they were a bug, I feel like it would be like zooming, or no, they were just like still orbs. And there was, oh God, there were pictures of it. There was one under the porch that my brother took, because he was just taking a picture of the caretaker's cottage. There was one under the porch, one on the stair. The next picture is like it on the stair. So it was moving. And then the other one was crazy. It was on the rocking chair. Like, just a perfect little orb on the rocking chair. So we showed them, you know, what we found. And they're like, oh, that's Chloe. What? How do you know who, like, what is, like, from an orb? And apparently they have a whole wall of that same orb, from what people have taken pictures of. So me, because I do try to debunk things, I was like, oh, well, maybe they have it staged somehow. You know, I'm like, a whole wall dedicated to what you think Chloe is? Okay. It's a little weird. But no. It definitely felt different. You know, I don't think I've been that scared in a while. That was interesting. And then, you know, I didn't tell them about, like, the bruising or whatever. I was just like, well, maybe, you know, I don't know. I don't even know what I was thinking, you know. But we went and we did the tour of the main house because we wanted to see inside there. And we got some interesting pictures in there too. Again, if I can find them, I'll show them. These ones I may not be able to find because I would have to really dig deep. But there, I remember taking a picture of the butler's staircase. And you guys, it looked, if I can find, I hope I can find this one because this one is like the most important to me for you guys to see. It looked like there was a butler standing on the staircase. And I'm telling you, so much so that I thought, oh my God, they put a mannequin there. That is hilarious. And I went to look and there was nothing there. Oh, anyways. So fast forward, we drive to New Orleans, right? And we're going to stay at the Andrew Jackson Hotel, which is also one of the most haunted hotels that you can stay at in New Orleans. I don't know why we did this to ourselves, but it was just a whole haunted trip, which was really fun. But I go and I'm like, I wanted to check the bruises out again, you know, because I was like, oh, maybe let's make sure that, you know, they're okay or whatever. Still didn't hurt, nothing. I looked, and I kid you not, they were completely gone. And like, am I losing my freaking mind? Like, how are these gone? Like, just didn't even exist anymore. So I looked at my leg, nothing. Like all of it had just disappeared. So you decide. What do you think happened? Please let me know in the comments. Do you think it was all a coincidence? Do you think that it was all in my head and my brother's head, you know, because we were hyping ourselves up so much? Do you think we witnessed a haunting? I believe we did, just because of the bruising, honestly. Like, you can't just, they don't disappear that fast, you know, because it was that same day that they were gone. And like I said, they looked like they had been there, you know, it was like in the peak healing where they're darker. I don't know, you guys. It was very odd, and I still don't know what I make of it. But please leave a comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know if you like these haunted stories. And we can continue to do them because I feel like, yeah, I have a few more that I can say. There is one that you guys are going to be like, what in the world? It actually includes a stuffed animal. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think, and we will continue these. But the next time, I will have a different ambiance, hopefully. I'm getting an electric fireplace. I'm so excited. So I'm hoping it will be a little bit cozier for our next video, telling a haunted story. So please, if you like this video, like it, subscribe. That really helps me out a ton, and I love each and every one of you for supporting me and watching my videos. So until next time, have a spooky day. Bye!